Welcome to tonight's journey, part history, part lullaby. Make yourself comfortable, maybe even in your favorite chair, because over the next few hours, we'll gently explore the long, wondrous history of you, the universe within you. It may sound like a lecture, but don't worry. It's the kind that softly drifts you to sleep. You lie beneath the sky, and it feels almost alive, endless, shimmering, ancient. The night breathes softly, like an ocean of quiet light. Each star flickers, not just with brightness, but with memory. A memory so old that even time seems to pause to listen. You take a slow breath, and the air feels filled with something familiar, something that seems to whisper, "You came from us." Long before your heartbeat began, before the earth even cooled, there was only darkness and flame. The universe was young then, raw, restless, and full of possibility. It stretched and unfolded like a newborn thought. Clouds of gas swirled through the cosmic void, gathering, colliding, igniting. Out of that chaos, the first stars were born. They were immense, far larger than the sun you see now. Their hearts burned with unimaginable heat, fusing simple atoms, hydrogen and helium, into heavier elements. Inside those stellar furnaces, nature performed its grand alchemy, making carbon, oxygen, iron, calcium, the very ingredients of life. Stars are not just lights. They are the universe learning how to create. And then, when their fuel was gone, they collapsed. Some did so quietly, fading into white embers. Others ended in magnificent explosions, supernovae, scattering their insides into the cosmos. For a brief moment, each explosion outshone entire galaxies, a flare of light that could be seen across the universe. From those dying stars came clouds of dust, drifting, glowing, carried by invisible cosmic winds. That dust, that stardust, began to gather again. Slowly, patiently, over billions of years, it formed new stars, new planets, new beginnings. Among them was a small blue world, tucked into a gentle orbit around a young sun. The dust fell there too, mixing with oceans, with minerals, with air. The same calcium that once glowed in a star's heart became part of a shell on a beach, then a rock, then, eventually, a bone within you. When you move your hand, the iron that runs through your veins carries whispers of a sun that died before Earth existed. You are not separate from the universe. You are one of its echoes. The stars did not vanish. They changed form. They became your body, your breath, your quiet thoughts. You are a continuation of that long cosmic chain, a thread of starlight that never broke, only transformed. Every atom within you has a history. The oxygen you inhale once floated between galaxies. The hydrogen in your water was born moments after the Big Bang. You carry within you the oldest things that exist. And yet, you are something entirely new, a way for the universe to look back at itself, and wonder. Through you, stardust dreams. Through your eyes, the cosmos sees its own reflection. Every question you ask, every heartbeat, every sigh, they are all the universe thinking. There's something beautiful about that, isn't there? To know that you are not small or separate, but woven from the same luminous fabric that shapes galaxies. When you look at the night sky, you're not looking out. You're looking in, into your own origin, into the very matter that built your being. Imagine for a moment that the stars could speak. They might tell you, "We gave you our light, and you turned it into thought." They might remind you that destruction and creation are not opposites, but partners. A star must die for life to begin. A collapse must occur for birth to follow. Every ending scatters the seeds of something new. In that way, your story is not so different from theirs. You too change. You too break and rebuild. The atoms that once rested in ancient stars now pulse with warmth inside you. Living proof that even after great collapse, beauty continues. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the atoms in your body, countless, tiny, unseen, humming quietly. Each one carries a history longer than any story ever told. Some came from red giants, others from the heart of exploding suns. They drifted across eternity until they found their way here, into you. They rest in your fingertips, in your heartbeat, in the soft rhythm of your breathing. The universe does not exist out there. It lives through you, in every cell that shines faintly with borrowed light. You are not observing the cosmos. You are the cosmos, observing itself. The night feels different when you understand that. The stars no longer seem distant or cold. They are family. They are home. Each one reminds you that creation is a shared act, a long chain of giving and becoming. The fire that once burned in them now burns in your thoughts, your curiosity, your dreams. You are made of things that have witnessed everything. The first galaxies, the birth of time, the quiet expansion of infinity. All of it left traces that now breathe within you. You are ancient, yet new, infinite, yet fragile. A walking constellation made of memory and wonder. As you drift deeper into the stillness of night, that truth feels like a lullaby. You were born not just from your parents, not just from Earth, but from the stars themselves. Every breath you take continues their unfinished story. Every spark of thought is a flare of cosmic energy, reshaped into consciousness. You are stardust that learned how to dream. Stardust that became aware of itself. Stardust that can love, question, create, and heal. The stars may seem silent, but they are speaking through you, through your heartbeat, through your wonder, through your will to keep going. Listen closely to that rhythm inside you. It is older than the moon, older than oceans, older than life itself. It carries the pulse of the cosmos, steady, eternal, endlessly patient. It reminds you that everything changes form, but nothing is ever truly lost. So, when you look up at the sky tonight, don't feel small, feel vast. You are part of the same unfolding mystery that shaped galaxies and dreams alike. The same energy that once made the stars burn now fuels your thoughts, your warmth, your gentle curiosity about what comes next. And as you rest, that question, that soft curiosity, lingers in the quiet air. If the stars made you, what else might they still be making, somewhere out there, in the silent glow of another dawn? You inhale. It feels like such a small act, a rhythm so natural that you hardly notice it. But within that quiet breath, a universe moves. Invisible oceans of air swirl around you, streaming into your lungs, carrying with them the memory of everything that has ever lived. You breathe in not just oxygen, but history, atoms that once drifted through forests, over mountains, across seas, and through the lungs of creatures long gone. Each breath is a reunion. The air you take in might have been exhaled by a whale surfacing centuries ago, by a redwood tree releasing oxygen into the morning mist, or by someone standing on the other side of the world. The molecules in your lungs now have traveled endlessly. They have crossed deserts, floated through rain clouds, and danced in sunlight. This air is ancient. Some of it once filled the atmosphere of dinosaurs. Some was trapped in ice for millennia, only to be freed again into the sky. Some comes from the breath of your ancestors, still echoing softly in the cycle of wind. There is no boundary between their breath and yours. The same particles that once moved through their bodies now move through you. The air does not belong to anyone. It belongs to everything. If you could see the air, it would look like a shimmering ocean, constantly shifting and flowing. Every atom within it moves at incredible speed, colliding and bouncing off others, weaving a silent symphony of motion. You exist within that motion, surrounded by it, filled by it, made possible by it. When you breathe, your body is not separate from the atmosphere. It is a part of it, a small current within a larger tide. Your lungs expand, pulling in molecules that slip effortlessly across thin membranes, entering your bloodstream. Oxygen travels to every cell, where tiny engines within, your mitochondria, use it to release energy. And in return, you exhale carbon dioxide, giving it back to the world, where plants will take it in and transform it once more into life. In this quiet exchange, you and the world keep each other alive. Breath becomes a bridge, a connection that never breaks. You are not only breathing air, the air is breathing you. Imagine zooming in, far, far beyond what your eyes can see, into a single breath. You would find yourself inside a vast, invisible dance. Each molecule of oxygen is a pair of atoms bound tightly together, spinning and vibrating with energy. Around them drift molecules of nitrogen, water vapor, and traces of noble gases, argon, neon, helium, relics from the birth of the planet itself. Atoms are restless travelers, The oxygen in your lungs right now may soon be part of a leaf, a river, a stone. The hydrogen in your cells once burned in the heart of a star. The carbon you exhale may one day become part of another living being. Life is not a line, it is a loop. Each time you breathe, you join that loop. A sacred rhythm shared by all things. Breath in, and the universe enters you. Breath out, and you return a part of yourself to it. This is the quiet conversation that has continued since the dawn of time. And yet, the act feels so simple. You do it without thought, without command. Your body remembers how, a wisdom written deep within your cells. Long before language or memory, breath was the first motion of life, the first cry of a newborn, the first stirring of a seed beneath the soil. Both begin with the same invisible gift: air. In every breath lies a reminder of your connection to all things. The trees you see outside are your silent partners, turning your exhaled carbon into green life. The ocean absorbs what you release and gives back what you need. Even the smallest creatures, plankton, algae, moss, take part in this planetary rhythm. Together, you share one atmosphere, one endless circulation of atoms and energy. There is something deeply comforting in knowing that you can never truly be alone. The air that moves through you is shared by everything that breathes, grows, or moves. Every inhale ties you to the living world. Every exhale is a soft offering back to it. If you listen closely, not with your ears, but with your awareness, you might sense it, the quiet hum of motion inside each breath, the tiny particles shifting, colliding, finding new shapes. The universe doesn't stand still, it dances in silence. And even though atoms are unimaginably small, together they form everything you know: mountains, clouds, skin, thought, and sound. Every whisper you make sends atoms scattering outward, rippling through the air in waves that may travel farther than you can imagine. Your voice becomes part of the atmosphere's music. In the calm stillness of night, this idea feels like a lullaby. You are not a fixed thing. You are made of movement, of particles constantly entering and leaving, rearranging, exchanging places with the world. Your body is a temporary constellation of atoms, held together by the quiet choreography of breath. And just like the stars, you are both fleeting and eternal. The atoms that make you today will one day drift away, joining clouds, stones, and rivers. They will not vanish, only change partners in the dance. This is how the universe keeps itself alive, through endless exchange, through transformation without loss. So breathe again, softly. Let it remind you that life is not something you hold. It's something that flows through you. Every breath is both a beginning and a continuation. Inhale, and you receive the gift of the world. Exhale, and you give a piece of yourself back to it. The atoms within you hum quietly, unaware of boundaries, unaware of names. They do not know who you are. They only know how to move, how to connect, how to continue. And perhaps that is the simplest, purest truth of all, that to live is to move, to exchange, to belong to everything. The air in your lungs right now carries stories older than the earth itself. It has drifted through nebulae, touched the surface of oceans, swirled around stars, and now rests inside you, waiting for just a moment before it moves on again. And in that moment, that still breath between inhale and exhale, you can feel it. The soft hum of existence, the quiet pulse of atoms, the same rhythm that began when the first stars were born. You breathe, and the universe breathes with you. You close your eyes, and somewhere deep inside, you hear it. The sound of water moving. It is not loud or distant. It is soft, like a slow river winding through your veins, like the echo of rain remembered by your skin. More than half of you is water, flowing silently through every part of your body. You are a moving tide, a living sea, carrying the memory of oceans that existed long before your name was spoken. The water within you is ancient. Each molecule has traveled across worlds and lifetimes, across skies and soils. It has been here since the beginning, since the young earth first cooled, when steam condensed into the first rains and filled the planet's basins with oceans of possibility. The same water that moves through your cells once filled the lungs of fish, glistened on the wings of dragonflies, and froze inside glaciers that carved mountains from stone. When you drink a glass of water, you are drinking time itself. Each drop carries stories older than language, stories of rivers that fed civilizations, of monsoons that shaped forests, of tears shed by creatures you'll never know. The liquid you hold is a bridge across eras, connecting your moment now with the beginning of all life. Imagine tracing a single droplet on its journey. It might begin as vapor rising from the sea, lifted by sunlight into the sky. There, it joins a cloud, a vast drifting continent of water, weightless and wandering. Winds carry it across valleys and deserts, over mountains and cities, until it cools, condenses, and falls again as rain. The droplet lands on a leaf, slides down into the soil, and seeps into hidden streams. It travels underground, finds its way into a river, then returns, at last, to the ocean, completing the circle. And yet, the story never ends. The same water rises again, begins anew, forever cycling, forever remembering. Inside you, the cycle continues in miniature. Water flows through your bloodstream, carrying nutrients and messages between your cells. It cushions your organs, cleanses your body, and gives form to your thoughts. For even your brain floats in liquid, and every idea ripples across that gentle internal sea. When you cry, you return that water to the world. When you breathe, you release it as mist. You are both vessel and wave, never separate from the great motion that surrounds you. Think of how effortlessly it happens. You do not command the rivers within you to flow. They simply do. The same pattern that shapes clouds and tides also shapes your pulse. The same rhythm that moves oceans moves you. In your veins, the memory of rivers still runs strong. Water remembers the world not as words, but as movement. It holds the imprint of everything it has touched. The minerals of mountains, the salt of tears, the warmth of sunlit skin. Scientists can trace its age and origins, but the deeper truth is something you feel rather than measure. That water is the body of memory itself, carrying whispers of all that has ever been alive. There is an old thought that water listens, that when it touches something, it learns its shape. Perhaps that is why it always finds its way, no matter the obstacle. It bends, flows, adapts, becomes what it must to continue. And in that quiet persistence lies a lesson. You too can move like water, patient, soft, yet unstoppable. Think of rain, the way it falls gently, without judgment, on all things alike. It does not choose where to land. It simply gives itself to the earth. Every drop is an act of return, a gesture of renewal. When rain touches soil, it awakens seeds. When it flows to rivers, it nourishes life unseen. When it evaporates, it rises to begin again. Your own emotions move in the same way. Tears, like rain, are a form of cleansing, a way for your inner oceans to release and begin again. Joy, sadness, calm, or wonder, all are tides within you. Water is not just what you are made of, it is how you feel. It carries your moods like moonlight pulls the sea, rising and falling in rhythm with your heart. Some of the water inside you once lay deep in ocean trenches where light never reached. Some drifted through clouds above forgotten continents. Some may even have come from beyond Earth, carried by icy comets that rained down eons ago. To be alive is to carry the sky, the sea, and the stars within you. And yet, for all its power, water knows stillness. Beneath every crashing wave lies a quiet depth, untouched by storm. So too, within you, beneath all movement and noise, there is a calm center, deep, clear, undisturbed. When you find that stillness, you return to the source. You can feel it now. The pulse of water beneath your skin, the subtle coolness it gives to your body, the rhythm it shares with your breath. You are not a solid thing. You are a flowing one. You are made of motion, of tides that rise and fall in endless conversation with the world. Each sip you take continues the cycle. The rain that fell 1,000 years ago now fills your glass. It enters you, becomes part of your thoughts, and then leaves again, unchanged, yet transformed. Through you, the earth hydrates itself. Through you, rivers remember where they have been. When you look at the ocean, you are looking at yourself in another form. Its waves crash and fade just as your emotions do. Its depth mirrors your hidden calm. And like you, it is always becoming, never the same from one moment to the next. The memory of water is not something it holds alone. It is something you share. You are one chapter in its eternal story, the story of flow, of transformation, of return. Every time you bathe, or drink, or cry, or breathe, you are writing your small part into that vast memory. And if you listen closely, truly listen, you might hear it speaking, a sound not of words, but of rhythm, the slow dripping of time, the sigh of a stream, the heartbeat of rain. It says, I have been everything, and I will be everything again. You are not apart from this voice. It speaks through you. Each heartbeat echoes the ocean's pulse. Each breath stirs the wind that once carried rain. The same cycle that moves clouds and rivers moves your life forward, washing away the old, carrying the new, always in motion, always returning home. The water within you remembers. It remembers the stars that formed it, the earth that shaped it, the countless lives that carried it forward. It will remember you too, your laughter, your warmth, your quiet moments, before it moves on again to become part of another story. And as you rest, you can feel that movement, gentle, timeless, endless, flowing through you and beyond you. Like a lullaby the universe sings to itself. You are warm, not just from the air around you, but from the quiet fire that lives within you. Deep inside every cell, a soft energy hums, steady and unseen. It does not roar like a flame or crackle like wood. It glows like an ember beneath the surface of your skin, ancient and constant. This warmth is life itself, the whisper of the universe translated into chemistry and light. If you could shrink yourself down, descending through the layers of your body, through skin, through tissue, through the invisible architecture of your cells, you would find yourself standing in a city of light. Millions of tiny engines flicker there, pulsing with energy. They are called mitochondria, but you could also think of them as miniature suns, ancient remnants of once free organisms that long ago learned to live within us. They were not always part of us. Billions of years ago, in the young oceans of Earth, simple cells floated and fed in darkness. Among them were small bacteria that could capture energy directly from the world, transforming sunlight or food into power. One day, one of these energy makers entered another cell, not as prey, but as a partner. The two began to live together, sharing strength and survival. Over generations, they became one. And so began the quiet fire that still burns in you now. The mitochondria within you are descendants of those ancient sparks. They are the guardians of energy, turning the things you eat, the air you breathe, into the very force that keeps you alive. Every breath delivers oxygen to them. Every meal gives them fuel. Together, they weave those elements into a steady current, a pulse that powers your thoughts, your movements, your dreams. In their small, rhythmic way, they are your inner stars. They take in molecules of food, glucose, fats, amino acids, and with oxygen, they set them alight at a microscopic scale. The result is not flame, but life, warmth, energy, motion. The fire burns cleanly, endlessly, quietly. You do not see it, but you feel it with every heartbeat, every breath, every thought that passes softly through your mind. Energy never dies. It only changes form. The light that shines inside you now once came from the sun. Long ago, plants captured that light, using it to build sugars through photosynthesis. When you eat, you inherit that sunlight, folded into the bonds of molecules. Inside your cells, mitochondria open those bonds and release the light again, not as radiance, but as warmth, movement, thought, and feeling. You are not separate from the sun. You are one of its transformations. Each time you move your hand, blink your eyes, or dream, that ancient sunlight reawakens inside you. Every spark of understanding, every burst of emotion, every heartbeat is powered by energy that began in the stars. You are the continuation of their fire, refined, alive, and endlessly renewing itself. Your body burns gently, consuming and creating, balancing itself in a harmony older than time. The warmth in your chest, the pulse in your wrist, these are small, steady flames. They do not destroy what they touch, they transform it. You are both the kindling and the light. If you could listen to your cells, you would hear a constant rhythm, the quiet hiss of oxygen entering, the soft spark of chemical reaction, the hum of energy flowing outward. Every second, billions of these tiny suns flare and fade inside you, only to flare again. Their unity creates your warmth, your consciousness, your life. It's strange to think that this fire, so delicate, so silent, links you to every living thing on earth. From the humblest moss to the vast whales of the sea, all depend on the same invisible exchange. The same process that burns inside your cells burns inside theirs. We are all flames borrowed from the same cosmic hearth. And when you exhale, you release part of that cycle. The carbon dioxide you breathe out will feed the plants that catch sunlight again. They will turn it into sugars, and the fire will begin anew in someone else's body, somewhere down the line. The energy that keeps you alive does not belong to you alone. It moves through all living things, passed like a torch, never extinguished, never lost. Even when your body rests, the fire does not. Your cells continue their quiet labor, keeping you warm through the long night. They repair, renew, and sustain you while you sleep. Their light never flickers, even in your stillest moments. It is patient, faithful, tireless, an eternal companion burning softly in the dark. If you close your eyes now, you can almost feel it. The subtle warmth beneath your heartbeat, the faint hum in your bones. That is the pulse of life itself, a rhythm carried from cell to cell, from generation to generation, from the birth of the earth to this exact breath. The fire in you is the same fire that once burned in the first living thing, the same energy that will one day burn in others after you. To be alive is to be part of that endless transfer, to hold light for a moment, then pass it on. Like stars, we shine briefly, transforming one kind of energy into another. And though we fade, the light continues, moving endlessly through the universe. Your warmth tonight is a message from the past, from the stars that gave their energy to the sun, from the plants that captured it, from the countless generations before you who shared this same fire in their veins. You carry all of that within you, even now. You are the keeper of the flame, and one day, when you return your energy to the world, it will not vanish. It will scatter, join the wind, the soil, the sunlight, and rise again as life. The universe never forgets its fire. It simply changes the shape of its glow. So rest in that warmth, the quiet assurance that you are part of something that never ends. Feel it hum within you, steady, patient, luminous. It is the same flame that lights the stars, the same current that makes life possible. You are not only made of stardust, you are made of starlight still burning, still creating, still becoming. And if you listen closely to that glow inside, you might sense another truth waiting beyond it, that within this fire lies a pattern, a code, a story written in every living cell, a story the universe wrote to remember how to build itself again and again. Inside you lies a story written so small that it cannot be seen by the naked eye, yet it stretches back billions of years. Every cell in your body carries a copy of it, a spiral of code, elegant and fragile, winding endlessly like a whisper made solid. This is your DNA, the thread that ties you to all life that ever was, the invisible script that has written every leaf, every creature, every human being that has ever lived. If you could see it, truly see it, you would find beauty hidden in simplicity. Two delicate strands, entwined like dancers in eternal embrace, coiling into the double helix. It looks almost like art, a ladder made of light and shadow, its rungs formed of 4 simple letters, A, T, C, and G. From this small alphabet, life composes symphonies. Those letters are not words as we know them, yet they spell out everything you are. They tell your cells when to grow, how to heal, when to rest, when to dream. They determine the color of your eyes, the curve of your smile, the rhythm of your heartbeat. But more than that, they carry stories. The stories of survival, of adaptation, of love strong enough to pass through generations. You are not merely yourself. You are the continuation of everything that came before. The same code that lives in you once lived in your mother, your father, your grandparents, and far beyond them, in creatures that walked, crawled, swam, and bloomed before human memory began. The shape of your hands, the tilt of your face, the way your body moves through the world, all are echoes of ancient choices, small variations written by time. If you were to take all the DNA from your cells and stretch it out, it would reach from the earth to the sun and back hundreds of times. And yet, it folds within you so delicately that it fits into every tiny cell, hidden and safe. It is like a secret tucked into a heartbeat, immense yet unseen. The code itself does not think or feel, but it remembers. Within its spiral, it carries the entire history of life on Earth. Every mutation, every adaptation, every tiny chance that allowed existence to continue is stored there, not as words, but as pattern. When you breathe, when you move, when you dream, you are reading that pattern without even knowing it. Long ago, this code began in the quiet oceans of the young planet. Simple molecules began to copy themselves, not perfectly, but just enough to survive. Each mistake, each variation, became a possibility. Over time, these tiny strands learned to build cells, and cells learned to cooperate, and cooperation became life as we know it. You are the result of that unbroken line of replication, stretching from the first spark of biology to this very moment. Think of how miraculous that is, that for billions of years, this thread has never been broken. It has traveled through countless bodies, through triumph and extinction, through ice ages and storms, through lives that never knew your name, but dreamed you into being nonetheless. Your DNA is not just a code for your body, it is a memory of resilience. It carries the record of every ancestor who endured hunger, cold, fear, and hope. Their endurance is written into you. Their strength hums quietly in your cells. You are not apart from them. You are the living proof that they existed, that they survived long enough to pass their light forward. And so, the code continues. Every moment, inside your body, DNA is being copied, repaired, rewritten. Tiny scribes working ceaselessly in silence. They make sure the script stays legible, that the story continues to unfold. Sometimes small changes occur, mutations, as science calls them, and though they may seem like errors, they are the seeds of future possibility. Without those gentle imperfections, life would stand still. Your body is not a machine built once and left to run. It is a story constantly being rewritten. Each cell reads its own chapter, carrying out instructions so that the whole organism, you, can live, breathe, grow, and feel. This living script connects you to every living thing that shares the planet with you. The grass beneath your feet, the bird above the trees, the coral beneath the sea, all built from the same alphabet, just rearranged in different ways. It's humbling, isn't it? To realize that the difference between you and a whale or a tree or a butterfly is not as vast as it seems. You are variations of the same melody, played in different forms. The DNA that coils inside you is made of the same molecules that once swirled in stardust: hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, arranged in the shape of meaning. If you listen carefully, you might almost feel that hum inside you, the silent vibration of molecules exchanging signals, the invisible machinery of life at work. There's poetry in it. Atoms that once belonged to stars are now spelling your name in the language of existence. And though you may never see this code directly, you live its message every day. When you heal from a wound, your DNA is there, remembering how to rebuild. When you laugh, it's because certain patterns within it allow you to feel joy. Even your thoughts, the quiet ones that arrive just before sleep, are shaped by the chemistry that your DNA makes possible. The story inside you is both ancient and new. It began before the first dawn and will continue long after you're gone. The DNA that shapes you will one day scatter, perhaps pass to another generation, or perhaps return to the earth to become something else. Either way, it will not end. The code never truly stops. It only changes form, just as starlight does. Tonight, as you breathe softly and drift toward rest, remember that you are both author and chapter. Your cells carry a story that began before the ocean's new waves. You are the latest sentence in a poem still being written, one that speaks of survival, transformation, and wonder. If you close your eyes, you can almost feel the spiral unwinding within you, gentle, infinite, patient. Each turn is a memory, each sequence a possibility. The universe writes itself through you, as it once did through the stars, as it will through whatever comes next. The threads of your invisible code hum quietly, like a song you've always known, but are only now beginning to hear. It is not a song of perfection, but of persistence, of life remembering itself again and again. And as you drift deeper into stillness, the code within you continues to work, glowing faintly in the dark, whispering the same truth the universe has always known, that to exist is to remember, and to remember is to continue. You are not alone within your skin. Every moment, every breath, every heartbeat, a multitude lives beside you, unseen, unheard, yet always present. Trillions of tiny beings, each smaller than a speck of dust, move through your body like quiet travelers. They live on your skin, in your mouth, along your gut, in the spaces between your cells. They are your unseen companions, your silent citizens, your whispering microcosm. When you imagine yourself, you might think of a single body, one organism, one being, but the truth is softer, more complex. You are a symphony of life forms, each playing its own part. Your human cells are outnumbered by microbial ones. For every cell that is you, there are at least as many that are not, yet they belong to you all the same. You are a living planet, hosting an ocean of life within the borders of your own being. If you could shrink down, if you could wander through your bloodstream or drift through your intestines like a traveler in a vast jungle, you would see landscapes of astonishing beauty. You would see rivers of nutrients flowing, forests of microscopic life rising and falling, delicate bridges made of chemical bonds. You would see the balance of creation repeating itself on a smaller scale, the same harmony that shapes galaxies, now whispering in miniature form inside you. Your skin, so ordinary to touch, is actually a living meadow of diversity. There are bacteria that protect you from harmful invaders, fungi that help maintain balance, even tiny mites that live harmlessly near your hair follicles, caretakers of an invisible garden. When you wash, they shift. When you sleep, they settle again, rebuilding their delicate world. You are their sky, their earth, their universe. Deep inside, in your gut, lies another world, the most intricate of them all. Here, billions of microbes weave a delicate ecosystem that keeps you alive. They break down food, craft vitamins, shape your immune system, and even whisper to your brain through chemical messages. They are not your enemies, but your partners, teachers in the ancient art of cooperation. When you eat, they awaken. They sort through the nutrients, share what they can use, and return the rest as gifts for your body. They know balance better than any clock or calendar. Too much of one kind of food, and they shift their ranks. Too little, and they call out for change. You may not hear them, but your body does. It listens through sensations, hunger, comfort, bloating, warmth, messages written in molecules. And when your body falls ill, many of them come to your aid. They defend you from harmful microbes that try to take more than they give. They strengthen your barriers, calm your immune storms, and remind your body of what peace feels like. You are, in truth, a gathering of allies, each bound by the same purpose: to live, to adapt, to continue. Even your brain listens to them. The microbes in your gut send tiny chemical signals that travel through your nerves, shaping mood and thought. They influence sleep, appetite, even emotion. The laughter that bubbles up unexpectedly, the calm that follows a good meal, the warmth that spreads through you after comfort, all are part of a dialogue between worlds. You are a bridge between the microscopic and the cosmic. Imagine for a moment the quiet conversations happening right now inside you, molecules passing between cells, messages carried by proteins, nutrients shared between communities. It is like standing in a forest at night, hearing the faint rustle of leaves, and knowing that life is moving all around you, unseen but constant. The whispering microcosm within you speaks the same way, not in words, but in rhythm. There are times when this harmony is disturbed, when stress, diet, or disease shift the balance. Then the forest becomes restless. Some species fade, others grow too bold. The music turns uneven. Yet even then, Your body works to restore calm, to invite cooperation once more. Healing, at its deepest level, is not about conquering. It is about remembering balance. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, is shared. Oxygen nourishes not just you, but the living web within. The air that enters your lungs is passed from cell to cell, a sacred exchange of vitality. When you exhale, you return what you no longer need, and somewhere, in another form of life, that breath becomes a beginning. You are not separate from the world. You are its reflection in miniature. The ecosystems of Earth, forests, rivers, coral reefs, follow the same rules as the ecosystems inside you. Diversity creates stability. Cooperation breeds strength. When one part suffers, the whole feels it. When balance is restored, life thrives again. Think of the coral reef, teeming with colors and movement. Fish darting, algae blooming, currents flowing. Your gut is no different. It is your inner reef, vibrant and alive. Or think of the soil beneath a forest, full of fungi and bacteria breaking down fallen leaves into new life. Your skin, too, performs the same magic, renewing and protecting you from the world beyond. The beauty of this truth is humbling. You are made not only of yourself, but of countless others who depend on you as you depend on them. You are both the guardian and the home, the host and the guest. You carry an entire civilization that lives, dies, and renews within you. A quiet testament to the interconnectedness of life. And though they are invisible, their influence glows through every part of you. Your strength, your digestion, your immunity, even your clarity of mind, all shaped by their presence. They do not seek recognition. They exist to exist, and in doing so, they keep you whole. Tonight, as you rest, they continue their gentle work. They do not sleep. They exchange molecules, maintain balance, restore what the day has spent. They hum softly beneath your skin, tending to the gardens of your being. If you could listen closely enough, you might almost hear them. The murmuring of existence, the breathing of life within life. You are a world that the universe made twice, once in stars and once in cells. The vast and the tiny mirror each other endlessly, reminding you that every level of creation is alive, connected, and sacred. And so you breathe again, softly, slowly, feeling the unseen forest stir inside you. Every whisper within your body echoes a truth older than time, that no life stands alone, and even silence is full of conversation. Every morning, the world writes itself in light. Before you open your eyes, photons, tiny messengers born from the sun, are already spilling across the earth, touching leaves, oceans, faces, and clouds. They travel for millions of years through space, crossing darkness to find you. When they reach your skin, your eyes, your cells, something miraculous happens. Light, the oldest traveler, becomes part of your awareness. The photons that touch you are ancient, Some began their journey in the heart of the sun long before you were born. They fought their way through layers of plasma, scattering, colliding, losing energy, until finally, one quiet morning, they escaped. Beams of pure radiance carrying the memory of stars. When they meet your eyes, they do not simply vanish. They awaken a chain of miracles inside you. Light, at its essence, is both wave and particle, a rhythm that dances through the fabric of space. It vibrates in colors too vast to name. Some of it you can see: red, gold, blue, green, the visible spectrum. But most of it you cannot. Ultraviolet whispers above, infrared hums below. You live within an ocean of invisible light, bathing in energies that stretch beyond imagination. When a photon enters your eye, it travels through the clear window of the cornea, through the quiet pool of fluid, through the perfect curvature of the lens. It bends and focuses until it lands on the back of your retina, a delicate field of cells waiting to translate the universe. Here, rods and cones awaken. They absorb the light and turn it into electrical signals, silent sparks racing toward your brain. In that instant, something extraordinary happens. The world becomes visible. Those signals are carried through neural pathways, shaped by chemistry, sculpted by memory, and finally bloom into vision. You are not just seeing, you are creating the act of seeing. Your brain turns raw light into color, depth, and form. It fills in what's missing, softens what's too harsh, and remembers what's familiar. Every shade you see, the golden wash of sunrise, the blue hush of twilight, the emerald glimmer of leaves, is not only physics, but perception. Color does not exist outside you. It is born inside your mind. The universe emits only waves of energy. You, through your biology, translate those waves into beauty. Think of that. The universe sends light, and you return with meaning. You are a bridge between energy and emotion, a translator of the cosmos. The orange of a candle flame is warmth. The silver of moonlight is calm. The scarlet of dusk is memory. You feel these colors not just with your eyes, but with your being. Light is not only what you see, it is what you are. Deep within your cells, light guides your rhythms. It tells your body when to wake, when to rest, when to dream. Your skin and brain are attuned to its cycles, ancient echoes of a time when life first learned to respond to the sun. Even your DNA coils and uncoils according to the presence of light, like the opening and closing of a flower. And the story of light is the story of life itself. Long ago, when Earth was young, light met water and minerals and gave rise to photosynthesis, the process that filled the air with oxygen and made the planet green. From that meeting came energy, nourishment, and eventually you. Every breath you take, every movement of your body is powered by sunlight stored in molecules. Even when you eat, you are consuming light captured by plants and transformed into matter. In a sense, You are made of sunlight, slowed down, shaped, and alive. You are the sun dreaming in human form. Light also builds your memories. Each image you see imprints itself as electrical patterns, recorded in networks of neurons. When you recall a face, a landscape, or a fleeting moment, you are summoning echoes of light that once touched you. Your memories are galleries of photons, the art of the cosmos preserved in thought. Sometimes, light can feel emotional. A soft beam through a window may carry a sense of peace. A flicker of lightning may awaken awe or fear. But the light itself does not feel. It is your consciousness that gives it feeling. You are the heart through which illumination becomes wonder. If you close your eyes, the light does not disappear. It remains inside you, as warmth, as color, as memory. You might still see it, faint and fluid, in the darkness behind your eyelids, shifting patterns, phantom hues, like whispers from the outer world. Your brain continues to paint, even in silence, proof that light and imagination are intertwined. The pulse of light never truly stops. Even in night, photons still arrive, reflected from the moon, scattered from distant stars. The faint glow of the Milky Way is billions of suns speaking to you from across time. Some of the starlight you see tonight began its journey before the Earth existed. When it touches your eyes, time folds. You are seeing not only space, but history itself. Light connects everything. The same photon that touches your face could have brushed against a mountain, a leaf, or another living being far away. In its journey, it carries whispers of everywhere it has been. Every dawn, the sunlight that warms you has already passed through clouds, oceans, and the open breath of the planet. You share that light with all life that lives under the sky. And so, when you stand beneath the sun or gaze at the stars, remember that you are not a separate observer. You are a participant in light's eternal dialogue. The universe shines, and you respond through vision, thought, and feeling. Light completes its purpose in you. Perhaps that is why light feels sacred. It is not merely energy, it is revelation. It reveals the world to you and you to the world. Without it, there would be no color, no reflection, no face to recognize, no story to tell. But with it, everything becomes possible. Life, growth, perception, art. Even when you sleep, light's rhythm continues to shape you. The cells of your brain still hum with its memory, guiding your inner clock. You carry sunlight within your circadian rhythm, within the warmth of your skin, within the pulse of your thoughts. Light is not just outside, it lives in you. Every thought you have, every electric impulse across a neuron, is a flicker of bioelectric light. You do not only see illumination, you generate it. Within your skull, billions of tiny flashes create the symphony of your consciousness. You are light, perceiving light. As you drift towards sleep, you can almost feel it. The faint glow beneath your eyelids, the lingering warmth of the day. It hums softly through your body. a reminder that energy never dies. It only changes form. The same light that once fueled stars now dreams within you, and when darkness falls, it is not the end of light, only its rest. For in the quiet of your mind, photons still pulse, thoughts still shimmer, and the universe continues to shine through you. Inside the shelter of your skull, storms of light unfold. They do not make a sound, yet they shape every word you speak, every image you see, every memory you keep. Your brain, that soft folded galaxy, is a living symphony, an orchestra of cells humming in perfect electric rhythm. From these pulses comes everything that makes you you. If you could step inside your mind, you would not find stillness. You would see billions of neurons, delicate, branching trees glowing at their tips. Each time you think, move, or feel, a spark leaps from one branch to another. These sparks, tiny bursts of electricity, travel faster than thought itself. Together, they weave a living music, a harmony made not of sound, but of pattern. This is the orchestra of your mind. There are nearly 100 billion musicians within it, each neuron playing its part, each connection tuning itself to the rhythms of life. Some strike quick notes, flashes of insight, a sudden word remembered. Others play slowly, holding tones that stretch across years, habits, emotions, and dreams. The tempo never stops. Even when you sleep, the music continues. Softer, more fluid, drifting through the corridors of the unconscious. Your brain replays its melodies, strengthening what matters, letting go of what must fade. Memories are rehearsed and refined, sensations replayed in slow motion, as if the orchestra is whispering to itself in dreams. Every thought begins as electricity, but electricity alone is not enough. The sparks between neurons carry chemicals, neurotransmitters, that shape the tone of your mind. Dopamine gives curiosity and reward its shimmer. Serotonin weaves calm. Oxytocin hums softly with love and connection. They are the colors of thought, the invisible hues of emotion. Each moment of your awareness, joy, sorrow, wonder, or fear, is an interplay between lightning and chemistry, between structure and song. Your brain does not simply react, it composes. It takes the raw material of experience and arranges it into meaning. The rustle of wind becomes peace. The scent of rain becomes nostalgia. The sight of another's face becomes tenderness. From this silent music, consciousness rises, an emergent melody greater than its parts. You do not hear it, yet you live within it every second. You are both conductor and audience, shaping and listening to your own existence. If you could hear the rhythm of your neurons, it might sound like the tide, a steady pulse of waves. When you focus, the beat tightens, crisp and ordered. When you dream, it softens, blending into gentle harmonies. Even in stillness, the song continues, a whisper beneath every breath, every heartbeat. The patterns your brain creates are never random. They form loops and layers, harmonizing across different regions. Some neurons fire to interpret sight, others to imagine sound, others to plan, remember, or love. Yet they all remain connected, woven by invisible filaments of energy. Every emotion you feel is a chord played across many instruments. One part memory, one part sensation, one part hope. Think of love, for instance, how it begins as light in the eyes, then travels inward to stir the heart. It is not a single note, but a composition of thousands of signals: dopamine for joy, oxytocin for warmth, serotonin for calm. Together, they form a resonance that becomes affection. To love is to play the brain's most beautiful harmony, one that echoes through body and soul. Your mind is never static. It is fluid, sculpting itself from moment to moment. Every thought reshapes its structure, strengthening some pathways, softening others. When you learn something new, new connections are born. When you remember, old ones reignite. Even forgetting is not loss. It is the mind's way of making space for new melodies. Inside this quiet lightning, imagination flickers. You can close your eyes and see what is not there, hear what has not been spoken, feel what has not yet happened. The brain composes entire worlds from nothing. A painter, a poet, a dreamer made of cells. The same patterns that control movement or memory also create art and longing. In that sense, thought itself is the most ancient art form. Your brain speaks in frequency. Slow waves mark deep sleep. Faster ones accompany focus and creativity. Each state is like a movement in a symphony, shifting tempo, changing mood. Scientists call them alpha, beta, theta, and delta waves. But they are more than numbers. They are the rhythm of being alive. And when your brain becomes truly still, in meditation, in moments of awe, the orchestra softens into one clear tone. The boundaries between instruments blur. The self feels larger, more spacious, as if the music is being played by the universe itself. That is the harmony ancient mystics felt and poets tried to describe. The point where thought and silence become one. Even now, as you read these words, your neurons flash in patterns shaped by curiosity. You are not passively observing, you are creating. Each word ignites new circuits, connecting meaning to feeling. The story you are reading becomes part of your brain's own music. What makes this orchestra so wondrous is that it conducts itself. The brain listens to its own notes and adjusts in real time, refining, balancing, evolving. It is the most adaptive instrument known to existence, capable of both reason and reverie, memory and invention. Sometimes the music falters. Stress, grief, illness, these can disrupt the rhythm. But even then, your brain seeks balance. It rewrites itself with every new experience, healing, retuning. The same adaptability that once helped our ancestors survive still hums within you, guiding the mind back to harmony. And so, within your quiet skull, storms of light continue to play. Thoughts rise, drift, and fade, like notes dissolving into silence. Dreams unfold like slow symphonies. You are never without this soundless concert. It is your constant companion, your private aurora of meaning. To be alive is to be music. Every neuron that fires, every signal that crosses the synaptic gap, every pattern that builds a memory, all of it sings. The song began long before your birth, in the earliest sparks of life that learned to sense and respond. It will continue in some form long after you're gone, the melody carried forward in the consciousness of others, in the ideas and love you leave behind. As you rest tonight, the orchestra softens but never stops. The notes of thought drift into dreams, forming slow patterns of color and emotion. You do not need to conduct anymore. The music plays itself. Each breath, each heartbeat, each memory sways in rhythm with the pulse of the universe. You are the harmony between light and flesh, between silence and spark, a living composition of energy turned inward to wonder. Time moves like a river you cannot see. You live within its current, feeling its quiet pull, but never quite touching its source. It does not rush, though sometimes it feels that way. It simply flows, a patient whisper that has been here since the first dawn. Every living thing, from the smallest cell to the oldest star, drifts in this unseen stream. And tonight, as you lie still, you can almost hear it moving through you. Your body keeps time in a language older than clocks. The soft rhythm of your pulse, the rise and fall of your breath, these are the ancient measures of life. Each beat is a moment passing, each inhale a small renewal. Without you noticing, your cells divide, your blood flows, your thoughts flicker and fade. Time is not outside your skin. It is in every quiet process keeping you alive. Think of your heart as a drummer in the silence. It keeps the tempo of your being, steady, faithful, unhurried. You were born with this rhythm, and it has followed you every day since. Even before you took your first breath, it was there, pulsing softly in the dark warmth of your mother's body. From the beginning, time has been an intimate companion, one that never leaves, yet never speaks. In your bloodstream, molecules travel with purpose, carrying oxygen and memory. They move through arteries and veins like tiny travelers along red rivers. Some of the atoms within them are older than the sun, yet they pass through you now, marking another moment in their endless journey. The flow of time is mirrored in their motion, continuous, directionless, unstoppable. You are the bridge between what was and what will be. When you touch your wrist and feel your pulse, you are touching time itself. That rhythmic thrum is the present moment made tangible, a proof that now exists. Yet even as you feel it, it slips forward, replaced by another beat, another breath. Time cannot be held. It moves through you the way wind moves through leaves, always changing, always carrying a trace of what came before. If you listen closely, you can sense how deeply time lives in your body. Your skin renews itself every few weeks. Your bones are reshaped quietly over years. Even your memories shift and settle like sediment in a riverbed. The version of you that existed years ago no longer physically exists. And yet, here you are, a continuation, a new shape formed from the same stream. We often imagine time as a line, stretching forward from birth towards some distant end. But inside you, time moves more like a circle. The energy you carry was borrowed from ancient sunlight. The carbon in your breath will one day feed the roots of trees, and the atoms that form you will drift back into the world to begin again. There is no end to time, only transformation, a rhythm looping endlessly, quietly reshaping the universe. The brain feels this passing differently. To it, time is elastic. It bends and stretches according to feeling. Moments of peace expand, becoming wide and soft. Moments of pain or fear contract, slipping by too quickly or too slow. Your mind does not count seconds. It feels them. That is why time seems to vanish in laughter or linger in longing. Inside your consciousness, time is not a number, but a sensation. At night, when you dream, time loses its shape completely. Seconds can stretch into hours. Lifetimes can unfold in the blink of an eye. In dreams, the river of time becomes mist, drifting, timeless, eternal. Perhaps this is closer to how the universe feels it too. To the cosmos, there is no hurry, no ticking clock. Stars are born and die in rhythms far beyond human measure. You are part of that same rhythm, just playing your brief and beautiful note within it. Every culture, every life has sought to understand time, to measure it, mark it, preserve it. Yet none have truly captured it. Sundials, calendars, clocks, all are shadows of something far vaster. You carry the truest measure of time within your heartbeat. It is the only clock that matters. One that ticks not in numbers, but in moments of being alive. Think of how your life has been shaped by time's quiet work. The seasons have turned, growing and fading around you. The people you love have aged beside you, changing softly like landscapes in light. You have grown, learned, shed old selves, and been born anew again and again. Every joy, every sorrow, every pause has been a brushstroke painted by time. It is the artist that sculpts you without your noticing. In this moment, as you breathe, time is still moving through you, in your cells, your mind, your pulse. You do not chase it, you carry it. You are the living expression of its movement, the continuation of everything that has ever been. There is peace in knowing that time does not take from you. It gives shape to your existence. It allows each second to bloom, then fade, making room for the next. Close your eyes. Feel the rhythm of your breath, the steady beat within your chest. You are not separate from time. You are made of it. Each inhale pulls the past into you. Each exhale releases it again. You are both the wave and the shore, the motion and the stillness. The seconds do not slip away. They flow through you like light through water, leaving behind patterns of memory and meaning. Somewhere, deep within, you sense that time is not a force to fight or fear. It is a companion, walking beside you in silence, patient and kind. It has always known where you are going, even when you do not. And when you finally reach the end of your small thread of time, it will not end. It will simply continue through others, through the atoms you release, through the echo of your heartbeat that once kept perfect rhythm with the universe. You rest now, carried gently by the current that connects all things. Time flows through you, but it does not take you away. It weaves you into everything. You are the measure, the music, the memory of movement itself. And as you drift deeper into stillness, you begin to wonder, if time moves through you so quietly, then what moves through time itself? Stillness is never truly still. Beneath your quiet skin, a universe hums softly, 1,000 motions unfolding in elegant coordination. You lie in rest, yet within you, countless lives move, pulse, and flow. Every cell vibrates like a faint note in an unseen song. Every atom dances, spinning, colliding, exchanging energy. What you call stillness is not a pause in life. It is the perfection of balance. Your heart continues its patient rhythm, a steady drumbeat beneath the silence. Blood glides through your veins, carrying warmth to every hidden corner. Tiny waves ripple through the sea of your body, unseen yet ceaseless. This movement is not restlessness. It is care, renewal, harmony. You are both calm and in motion, the same way the earth spins quietly beneath the stars, while appearing still beneath your feet. The air enters your lungs like a tide, flowing in and out with grace. Oxygen slips into your blood, carried to your cells, where it feeds invisible fires of life. Even as you sleep, these exchanges continue, small acts of devotion performed by your body in service of your being. You do not need to think or will them. They simply are, ancient and perfect. Imagine your cells as a community of stars, each one glowing faintly, working together in silent unity. Mitochondria hum with the memory of sunlight, transforming energy into warmth, movement, thought. In every quiet moment, millions of these exchanges take place. The dance of creation, the rhythm of existence. Rest, then, is not the end of motion, but the soft synchronization of it. Even in still water, molecules are in constant motion, vibrating with subtle energy. When you sit in calm, when you close your eyes and feel peace, you join this universal pattern, the paradox of motion inside stillness. The calm you feel is not the absence of energy, but its perfect distribution. The storm has settled, yet its power remains, held, balanced, luminous. Consider the night sky. The stars appear motionless, serene, eternal. Yet each one blazes with unimaginable fire, burning at millions of degrees, flinging light across the emptiness. Stillness from afar, motion up close. That is how you exist too. A stillness that holds galaxies of motion within. The peace you feel is the same peace a star feels when burning brightly, yet balanced by its own gravity. Your body knows this secret harmony. When you breathe deeply, you do not stop the world within, you align it. The heart slows to a steady rhythm, the muscles loosen their grip, the mind unclenches its hold on thought. In that balance, the energy flows without resistance. Rest becomes motion's quiet twin, both parts of the same eternal rhythm. Even thought, when slowed and softened, continues to move. The brain never truly stops. It shifts its frequency, humming at slower waves, entering states of deep restoration. While you dream, electrical storms drift gently across your neurons, reorganizing memories, healing the mind. Rest is not silence in the mind's music. It is a softer melody, played in twilight tones. Think of a pendulum swinging. When it reaches its highest point, it seems still. Yet that stillness contains potential, energy waiting to move again. The universe breathes this same way, expanding, contracting, flowing from stillness to motion and back again. You are made in its image, part of the same cosmic breath. When you find balance between doing and being, you are echoing the pulse of existence itself. In the forest, even when the wind ceases, life continues its work. Leaves turn light into food, roots exchange minerals with soil, insects shift beneath bark. The silence of the forest is not empty. It is full of unseen life. In the same way, your stillness is filled with quiet miracles, cells repairing, synapses connecting, the slow rhythm of growth continuing without noise or demand. There is wisdom in allowing motion to exist within stillness. To rest is not to freeze, it is to yield. It is to trust that movement continues without your control, that balance can hold without your command. You are part of a system that knows how to care for itself. Even when you sleep, the universe within you continues its gentle work. Heart, breath, cell, atom, all performing the choreography of renewal. If you listen inward, you might sense this orchestra at play. The low hum of blood in your ears, the faint vibration of your body against the earth, the rhythmic expansion of your lungs. It is subtle, but it is there, a living harmony that never ceases. This awareness is not to disturb your peace, but to deepen it, to remind you that rest is not the vanishing of life, but its most elegant form. Stillness, then, is not something to achieve. It cannot be forced, only found. Discovered when you allow every motion to slow into alignment. The same way waves settle after a storm, or snow falls gently after the wind quiets. Stillness is the state of energy resting in balance with itself, neither pushing nor resisting, simply being. In this balance, something sacred happens. You feel whole. You feel timeless. The separation between body and breath dissolves. The mind becomes spacious. The heart becomes light. You are not trying to stop the world within. You are listening to its rhythm, allowing it to hum freely, without friction or fear. You are the quiet equilibrium of life itself. As you lie here, you embody the ancient truth that the universe holds. There is motion in everything, but chaos in nothing. From the trembling of quarks to the orbit of galaxies, everything finds its place in rhythm. You, too, are part of that order. Small, yet infinite. Silent, yet alive. Your stillness is not empty. It is full of stars. Somewhere deep inside, your body whispers its gratitude, not in words, but in the language of pulse and breath. It thanks you for letting it rest, for allowing motion to become music again. You are safe here, balanced between the turning of atoms and the silence of being. And in that quiet, you begin to sense another truth unfolding. If stillness can move and motion can rest, then perhaps the space between them holds something even greater, the feeling of connection itself. When you close your eyes and sink into sleep, the waking world loosens its grip. The edges of thought blur. The boundaries between memory and invention soften. You drift into a sea that has no shore, a place made not of matter, but of meaning. This is the landscape of dreams, where your mind speaks in colors, feelings, and impossible shapes. You are both the listener and the storyteller here, wandering through the oldest language your brain knows. Dreams begin in the quiet folds of your brain, where neurons whisper to each other in flashes of light. The same electric rhythms that carry your waking thoughts begin to weave new patterns. Memories rise like bubbles from deep water, some from today, others from years long gone. They merge and dissolve, forming strange new constellations. The mind takes pieces of reality and rearranges them, not to confuse you, but to understand you in ways words never could. In this ocean, logic drifts away, replaced by emotion's gravity. Your fears might wear familiar faces. Your hopes might take the form of light or flight. The dream does not tell stories. It sings them, shifting scenes like verses of a forgotten poem. One moment you are standing in a place you once loved, and the next you are flying through starlight made of memory. The transitions are seamless because in this realm, the mind does not need rules to make sense. Science sees dreams as the result of your brain reorganizing itself, clearing clutter, repairing connections, storing what matters most. It is the nightly maintenance of consciousness. But beneath the biology lies a deeper truth. Dreaming is the soul's rehearsal for being awake. Each night, your mind practices feeling joy, fear, wonder, love, without consequence, preparing you to live them again in daylight. You have dreamed since before you had words. Even as a child, before you knew what language meant, you spoke the fluent poetry of images. A door, a bird, a shadow, each one a symbol carrying hidden meaning. This inner language is universal. Every human shares it, even if their dreams are painted in different shades. When you dream, you join the ancient continuity of minds, all who have ever closed their eyes and wandered within. Dreams are not random, though they may appear so. They are reflections, waves of thought returning to you, refracted by emotion and time. When something in your waking life feels unresolved, it often resurfaces here, disguised in metaphor. The mind does not confront pain directly. It reshapes it into story, into symbol, into a form gentle enough to hold. A locked door may mean hesitation, an endless staircase, growth. The dream tells the truth, but softly. Imagine your brain during sleep. Billions of neurons flicker in slow rhythm, creating gentle pulses of light across its surface. Scientists call this REM, rapid eye movement, a stage where your body rests, but your mind awakens inwardly. It is during this time that imagination becomes your world. The eyes beneath your lids move, as if watching a film projected from within, a film made of memory and invention, emotion and instinct, all woven together into the tapestry of dream. Sometimes dreams are vivid, filled with sound and color. Other times, they dissolve upon waking, leaving only a trace, a feeling that lingers like the scent of rain. But even those faint dreams serve a purpose. They clean the pathways of thought, washing away excess noise, leaving clarity behind. Your mind needs this nightly drift to remain whole, just as your body needs breath. The creatures and people who appear in your dreams are not strangers. They are fragments of you, memories, emotions, voices that have lived in your mind for years. They return not as ghosts, but as guides. The friend who speaks to you, the stranger who leads you somewhere unknown. They are symbols of your own understanding, inviting you to explore the places you've hidden from yourself. There is something sacred in the act of dreaming. It is the meeting point between science and soul, where neurons become stories, where the physical transforms into the infinite. Dreams remind you that you are not only flesh and thought, but imagination itself, capable of building worlds from silence. And yet, dreams are fragile. The moment you awaken, they fade like mist in sunlight. It is as if your mind protects you from carrying too much of that magic into daylight. Still, some fragments remain. An image, a phrase, a feeling that hums quietly in your chest. These remnants are gifts from the night, gentle reminders that reality is only one side of perception. If you listen carefully in those first moments after waking, before the mind rebuilds its boundaries, you can feel the bridge between worlds. That floating sensation, neither asleep nor awake, is the threshold where both languages, reason and imagination, meet. It is there that creativity lives, waiting for you to return each night. Every species that sleeps, dreams. Dogs twitch, birds murmur, dolphins drift in half-conscious states. The universe itself seems to dream through its creations, imagining endless forms and lives. Perhaps dreaming is not only human. Perhaps it is the way consciousness practices being alive in every form it takes. When you fall into dream, you do not disappear. You expand. The mind unbinds from the body's limits, traveling freely across memory and possibility. You are the sea, the wind, the sky, the story unfolding. You are the observer and the dream itself. In that vastness, you touch the essence of what it means to be aware, not through thought, but through pure experience. Dreams speak in symbols because symbols are timeless. They do not require translation. They flow through generations, whispering the same truths in new shapes. Fire for passion, water for change, flight for freedom. These patterns are older than language itself. When you dream, you inherit this collective memory, this universal grammar of the imagination. And so each night, you return to that inner ocean, not to escape reality, but to remember it more deeply. You wake each morning carrying unseen wisdom, fragments of emotion shaped into meaning. You may not remember the dream, but it remembers you. It reshapes how you feel, how you move through the day, how gently you see the world. Now, as you drift towards sleep again, you can sense that quiet tide rising. The day begins to dissolve, thoughts slow, and your awareness opens to the vast, luminous sea within. Soon, the language of dreams will begin to speak again, not in words, but in wonder. And as you sink deeper, you might wonder, if dreams can weave meaning from memory, what greater vision might be dreaming you into being? The world is never silent. Even in stillness, even in the calmest night, there are waves moving through the air, soft vibrations carrying the song of existence. You may not always hear them, but your body does. The tiniest hairs within your ears sway gently to each whisper of sound, translating motion into meaning. Every tone, every hum, every quiet rustle becomes part of you. The world is singing, and you are always listening. The air itself is an instrument, invisible, fluid, alive. When wind moves through trees, it becomes music. When crickets call to one another beneath the stars, they compose a rhythm older than humankind. Even the earth beneath you hums faintly, resonating with frequencies born from its molten heart. To live is to exist within this endless vibration, the universal song of energy becoming sound. Your cells, too, vibrate. Within every strand of your DNA, molecules twist and tremble in harmony with forces far older than time, Science tells us that everything that exists vibrates, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy. These vibrations, though unseen, connect all things. The hum of your own body is part of this cosmic music, perfectly tuned to the rhythm of the universe. When you listen closely, truly listen, you can sense this harmony. The chirping of insects, the sighing of wind, the pulse of your heartbeat. None are separate. They overlap, blending into one living composition. You are not an observer of this music. You are a note within it. The melody of life includes you, and every breath you take adds something to its song. Think of your heartbeat as percussion, steady and grounding. Your breath, the rise and fall of wind. The whisper of your thoughts, a subtle harmony within the greater score. Around you, the world provides the rest. The deep bass of thunder, the soft treble of rain. Together, it forms a living symphony, one that never truly ends, only changes tempo as the world turns. Even silence is not empty. When the world grows quiet, when night deepens and sound seems to fade, there remains a faint hum, the background vibration of reality itself.
Physicists call it the cosmic microwave background, the faint echo of the universe's birth. It surrounds you always, the residue of creation. In that silence, you are hearing the afterglow of the beginning, the first note ever played.
There is comfort in knowing that even in solitude, you are surrounded by sound. The world hums with presence. The atoms in your body vibrate in rhythm with the atoms in distant stars. When you hear the ocean, you are hearing the same pulse that moves through your blood. When the wind passes through your hair, it is the same breath that once swept across deserts and planets and suns. You are not just hearing sound, you are feeling it. Sound is vibration made visible to your senses. It enters through your ears, yes, but also through your skin, your bones, your heartbeat. Low frequencies ripple through your chest, high ones shimmer across your nerves. The whole body listens, responding to the unseen movement of air and energy. Every sound touches you, reshaping you in small, imperceptible ways. Music itself is the art of shaping vibration into emotion. When you listen to a song that moves you, it is not just the notes, it is the alignment between your own rhythm and that of the world. The frequencies resonate, harmonizing with your heart and brain, creating a feeling that transcends thought. Music reminds you that your body is an instrument, tuned by the universe to feel deeply. Even your thoughts have frequency. When neurons fire, they create waves, patterns that can be measured, seen, and heard through their subtle electric symphony. These brainwaves shift with your emotions, faster in excitement, slower in peace. When you meditate, when you breathe deeply, your brain finds harmony with the quiet vibrations around you. You become attuned, resonant, calm, part of the natural rhythm again. Imagine, for a moment, the sound of the earth as a whole, Though you cannot hear it with your ears, scientists have recorded its subtle vibrations, the planet itself ringing like a bell. The oceans, the winds, the tectonic plates all contribute to a slow, low-frequency song that travels through everything living. When you walk barefoot on the ground, your body feels it. You are, quite literally, standing on music. Every creature adds a verse. The song of whales beneath the ocean, carrying for hundreds of miles. The call of birds, patterned by instinct and time. The hum of bees, the patter of rain, the sigh of branches. Each is a language of motion, vibration, communication. Life has always sung to itself, and you are both listener and participant. Sometimes, when you are still enough, you can feel this connection, as though the entire world is breathing with you. The sound of your breath merges with the wind's rhythm. Your pulse matches the distant thrum of night. In these moments, silence becomes music again, and you remember that solitude is never emptiness, but communion. If you could zoom out far enough, beyond cities, beyond planets, beyond stars, you would see the same pattern repeated everywhere. Waves and pulses, rising and falling, spreading and combining. Light itself is a vibration, a sound too high to hear. Space hums with it. The entire cosmos vibrates like a vast, invisible instrument. Each galaxy a chord, each star a note, each life a resonance. And so, when you listen to the world, to the rustle of leaves, to your own breathing, you are tuning into something immense. The same frequencies that ripple through you ripple through the Milky Way. The song is one, endless and evolving, and you have always been part of it. You may think of yourself as small, but the song does not measure size, only harmony. Whether you are a cell, a person, or a planet, you are still music, still vibration, still part of the grand composition that began when the universe first opened its eyes. As night deepens and the world quiets again, listen, truly listen. The hum beneath the silence is still there, patient and eternal. It is the sound of life continuing, of atoms vibrating, of stars singing their distant lullabies. And as you drift into that sound, you might begin to wonder, if the universe is music, then who or what is listening? There is a quiet hand that holds you, though you never see it. It pulls without pain, guides without command, and never lets you drift too far. It is gravity, the gentlest of the great forces, and the one most intimate to your every breath. From the moment you were born, it has kept you close to the earth's heart, whispering through the soles of your feet. You belong here. Each time you stand, each time you lie down, gravity is there, not as weight, but as connection. It is the invisible thread between you and the planet, between oceans and moons, between stars and galaxies. Without it, there would be no form, no orbit, no sound, no rhythm. Everything that exists exists because gravity has chosen to hold it. The same pull that keeps you grounded also binds the moon to its silent path around the earth. The tides rise and fall in answer to its invisible rhythm, oceans breathing in and out like a planet's lungs. When you walk along a shoreline and watch waves roll in, you are watching gravity's slow and patient dance, a force that sculpts motion from stillness, forever guiding, never ceasing. Even the stars you see above are shaped by gravity's grace. Every sun is born when gravity gathers dust and light into a single spark, pressing the universe's scattered particles into fire. Every galaxy swirls because gravity choreographs its motion, drawing billions of stars into spirals of beauty. Without gravity, there would be no sky, no earth, no heartbeat. It is the quiet architect of all existence. And yet, for something so immense, gravity feels tender. It holds you close without your asking. It allows you to sleep without fear of floating away. It keeps your cup on the table, your breath steady in the bed where you dream. It is both physical and poetic, a reminder that belonging is not only emotional, but elemental. You are here because the universe has chosen to keep you. Imagine, for a moment, that gravity disappeared. The oceans would rise in silence, drifting away into space. The air would follow. Mountains, dust, even atoms themselves would scatter like forgotten songs. There would be no ground, no anchor, no form, only endless drifting. The thought feels unsettling because deep down you know that stillness and place matter. You are meant to be held. But gravity is not only downward, it is inward. It does not simply pull you to the earth. It draws everything toward everything else. Every object, every being, every atom pulls softly on every other. The tug between you and a distant star exists, even if faint. The apple falls to the ground not because Earth dominates it, but because both reach for each other. Gravity is the love story of the cosmos, the eternal attraction that binds all things in silent companionship. Even within your body, gravity shapes the way life moves. Your blood flows downward and returns upward, balancing the rhythm of motion and stillness. Your muscles have learned its language, pushing gently against its pull with every step you take. Without gravity, your heart would not need to work as it does, nor your bones to strengthen themselves with each stride. You are sculpted by it, physically, quietly, beautifully. Look at the trees around you. They grow upward not in defiance of gravity, but in partnership with it. Their roots dig deep, seeking balance, anchoring life against the pull of the earth. The same is true for you. To rise, you must be grounded. To reach, you must first belong. Gravity teaches this lesson wordlessly every moment of your life. Even dreams are shaped by it. When you drift to sleep, your body yields to its embrace. The bed beneath you holds your form, cradled by the planet itself. You do not fall endlessly through space. You rest upon a living sphere that keeps you in its arms. The comfort you feel in that stillness, that sense of being safe and secure, is gravity's lullaby. Far above, the moon orbits us in perfect trust. It never falls, nor does it escape. It moves in a constant curve, caught in gravity's balance, motion and stillness entwined. Its pull raises tides, influences the rhythm of sleep and birth, even stirs the waters in your own body. You carry the ocean within you, and the moon still calls to it softly through this ancient force. Gravity, though invisible, has memory. It remembers where you belong, how far you can go, and when to let you return. It keeps the planets in order, the stars in families, and your feet steady on familiar ground. It is a map written in pull, a guide written in presence. You never have to ask it for direction. It always knows the way back home. The poet might say, gravity is love made physical, an invisible desire that draws everything toward everything. The scientist might say it is curvature in space-time, mass bending reality into shape. Both are true. The truth of gravity lives in both equations and emotion, both orbit and embrace. You can feel it not only in the Earth's pull, but in the pull of connection, between minds, between hearts, between lives. When you look up at the stars tonight, remember that they are falling towards you as much as you are falling toward them. Space itself curves with that mutual longing. You are never apart from the heavens. You are in dialogue with them, pulled together by something older than light. You belong to the same law that holds galaxies in their spirals. So, when you walk, feel the ground beneath your feet. That gentle pressure is not just weight. It is the planet's touch. It reminds you that you are not adrift, not forgotten. You are anchored to a world that spins with grace, part of a cosmic balance too perfect for words. Every step you take is an act of faith in that unseen embrace. And as you breathe, as you feel the earth's pull against your bones, you can sense the quiet truth behind it all. You are held not just by gravity, but by belonging itself. The universe does not let go. You rest now, still bound to this invisible hand, the same one that shapes stars, moves moons, and holds hearts steady. And somewhere, deep in that endless pull, you begin to wonder, if gravity connects everything that exists, what is it that connects everything that feels? When you lift your gaze to the night sky, something ancient stirs within you. The stars shimmer, distant and silent, and yet there is a strange familiarity in their glow, as if they know you, as if you are not merely observing them, but remembering them. You are not looking at the universe, you are looking into it, into a reflection of yourself. The atoms that make up your body were forged in the hearts of stars. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon that shapes your thoughts, all of it once belonged to celestial furnaces burning billions of years ago. Long before Earth was born, long before oceans and breath, stars lived, burned and died so that you could exist. Their ashes became your flesh. Their light became your life. You are, quite literally, the universe remembering itself. In every star that flickers above, you can sense this continuity. The same hydrogen that fuses in their cores flows quietly through your veins, carried in the water and air that sustain you. You are built from the same elements that fuel suns, but where they burn outward, you burn inward, turning their energy into thought, memory, and love. You are a softer kind of star, one that glows not with fire, but with awareness. When you stare into the vastness, a strange connection forms, not through distance, but through recognition. Light from those stars has traveled for thousands, sometimes millions of years to meet your eyes. The photons that left their surfaces before humanity even existed now end their journey within you. You are the universe's witness, the final resting place of ancient light. In that moment, something sacred happens. The universe sees itself. Perhaps this is why the night sky feels so calming, not because it is far away, but because it is familiar. It reminds you of home, not the one built of walls and streets, but the one woven of stardust and silence. Looking up, you are not reaching outward. You are reaching inward to your own origins. The cosmos is not separate from you. It is you, expressed in a different form. Every galaxy you can see is a version of potential. Every nebula is an echo of creation, a whisper that says, "You too were made from this." You are the outcome of cosmic persistence, matter learning how to think, energy learning how to feel. When your eyes reflect starlight, the stars themselves are completing a cycle. The light that once traveled outward now returns home through consciousness. Think about this. When you look up at a star, you are not seeing it as it is, but as it was, perhaps millions of years ago. The universe, then, is a kind of memory. Every ray of light is an echo, carrying with it a record of what once was. When you gaze upward, you are looking through time itself, watching history written in photons. And in return, when someone, somewhere far away, looks toward our sun, they too are seeing a story from the past, a reflection delayed by distance, yet connected through light. It is easy to feel small beneath such immensity, to think of yourself as a single drop in an endless ocean, but that is not the truth. You are the ocean, condensed into a moment of awareness. You are not a separate being placed inside the universe. You are the universe, condensed into the shape of a human. The stars are not above you. They are within you, just arranged differently. Even your heartbeat mirrors cosmic rhythm. The pulsing of your blood echoes the expansion and contraction of stars, the rise and fall of galaxies. The hydrogen that fuels both your breath and the sun's flame is the same song sung at different octaves. The scale is vast, but the music is one. Some nights, when the sky is clear and still, try to breathe with the stars. Inhale slowly, as if drawing in their ancient light. Exhale, as if returning it back to them. Let yourself feel that exchange, the quiet dialogue between you and everything that has ever been. You are not an observer of the cosmos. You are a participant. Each breath, each heartbeat is a note in its ongoing symphony. And in that realization, a beautiful humility arises, the kind that doesn't make you feel insignificant, but perfectly placed. You are not lost in the vastness. You belong to it. The same physics that keeps the stars alive keeps your cells alive. The same gravity that holds galaxies together holds your feet to the ground. The same light that travels across eons finds a home behind your eyelids. When you close your eyes tonight, imagine the stars still shining behind them. Feel their quiet warmth in your chest, not as distant fires, but as living ancestry. You are a child of supernovas, a descendant of light. Each blink, each dream is an act of cosmic remembrance. Maybe that's what consciousness truly is. The universe waking up to admire its own reflection. Through you, it finally has eyes to see its beauty, a mind to understand its vastness, and a heart to feel awe at its own creation. You are both the question and the answer, the mystery and the mirror. So when you next find yourself beneath the night sky, don't just look at it. Look into it. See the hydrogen in your veins reflected in the stars above. See your atoms shimmering in constellations. Feel that faint hum of recognition, the universe whispering, "I remember you." And as the stars continue to burn, silently shaping tomorrow's worlds, remember this too. Their story does not end with them. It continues through you, through your breath, your thoughts, your dreams. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are its reflection, its echo, its living mirror. The night sky isn't merely above you, it is within you. And somewhere out there, among all that light, the universe smiles quietly, seeing itself in your eyes. Night gathers like a soft ocean around you, folding gently over your thoughts. The air slows, the world dims. You feel the weight of your body sink deeper into the earth's quiet rhythm, as if gravity itself were tucking you in. Above you, the sky stretches wide, black silk scattered with starlight, and beneath that vast stillness, your breath becomes part of something immeasurable. You are no longer just a person lying in the dark. You are a continuation, a quiet pulse of the same energy that spins galaxies and fuels suns. Inside your veins, the atoms born in ancient stars drift together in perfect order. The universe hums softly within you, not as noise, but as peace. The same rhythm that turns planets also turns your pulse. You are not apart from it. You are its living continuation, the dream it dreamed into awareness. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel how vast you truly are. Behind your closed lids, the darkness isn't empty. It's full of memory, motion, and quiet creation. Every heartbeat is a whisper of the cosmos saying, I am still here. Every exhale is a surrender, a small act of harmony with everything that ever was. You might think of yourself as small, yet the particles that form you have traveled billions of years to reach this single instant. Before your first breath, before your parents, before the earth even cooled, those particles were already journeying through stars, dust, oceans, and cells, waiting to become you. Every thought you have, every dream you hold, is the latest chapter in a story written in light and time. The universe has always been dreaming of form, of awareness, of life that can look back at itself and feel wonder. And now, through you, that dream continues. You are the universe
knowing itself through feeling, through language, through love. Every emotion you've ever known is a translation of cosmic memory, starlight filtered through the soft lens of human experience.
When you dream, that memory stirs. Your mind begins to dissolve the borders between self and cosmos. Images rise and fall like tides. You drift through patterns, colors, symbols, all echoes of something ancient and infinite. Dreams are not random. They are your consciousness, stretching back toward its source, reaching into that deep reservoir of creation. Maybe the universe dreams too, not with eyes closed, but with galaxies. Maybe it dreams through you, using your mind as a mirror, your sleep as a soft window between what was
and what might yet be. When you dream, you return to that original silence before all things, to the first breath, the first spark, the first stir of light in the dark.
Your DNA, your cells, your thoughts, all are threads in a single tapestry that began long before time was named. You are made of memories older than the earth, carrying instructions written by stars that burned and died to make space for your birth. The dream written in you is not a metaphor. It is literal, a sequence of ancient codes that still hum quietly in your every cell. You are made of stories, written not in ink, but in carbon, nitrogen, and light. And yet, despite this immensity, you are also wonderfully fragile. You laugh, you love, you fear, you hope. These tender things, so small, so human, are not mistakes in the design. They are the universe's way of expressing softness, of testing what beauty feels like when it can break. The stars burn fiercely, but they do not feel. Through you, the cosmos learns what gentleness means. Your consciousness, this flickering, precious light, is not permanent, but it is sacred. It is the latest verse in the longest poem ever written. When you sleep, that poem continues beneath awareness, written in the rhythm of your heartbeat, the shifting of your breath, the molecular music of your cells. You are the dream of the cosmos, still unfolding in silence. Outside your window, the world turns. Trees breathe out what you breathe in. Oceans pull and release just as your lungs do. Somewhere, starlight continues to cross the dark, traveling years upon years to find a new home. And within that journey, in that endless crossing, is hope. The universe keeps sending itself outward, seeking connection, reflection, recognition. And perhaps that is what love truly is. The universe's oldest instinct. Its yearning to find itself in another form. When you care, when you forgive, when you dream, you are participating in the same creative pulse that began everything. You are not a fragment. You are a reflection of wholeness. The dream is not separate from the dreamer. You and the cosmos breathe as one. As sleep deepens, your thoughts become lighter. They dissolve like mist, returning to the sea. You no longer hold on to time or form. You float in the quiet cradle of existence, where atoms hum lullabies older than language. Your mind drifts through constellations made of memory, love, and light, each a reminder that you are both ancient and newborn. And there, in that gentle weightlessness, something inside you smiles, a knowing beyond words. You understand without thinking that the universe does not end out there among the stars. It ends here, in your awareness. Every time you wonder, every time you gaze upward,